Okay, I imagine that you were a parent. I don't know why.
No, 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 no. I don't have kids. Bless you. I don't know. Just bless you.
Okay, excellent. Let me see. I'm going to share the material from the class. Just a minute, because I was just finishing the previous class and then I didn't have time to exchange the material. So I'm going to flip here. Let me stop sharing screen. Then I'm going to open again, I guess. It's here. Let me check. Perfect. There was a link here, but it is not opening. So I will change the screen. Let me check here so that I can exchange with you maybe a PDF presentation. We are talking about the concept of fatherhood for Black cultures, because there are some differences in the idea of what it is to be a father, what is it to be a parent in non-hegemonic societies' perspectives. There are some small differences that make a lot of difference in the end, in the long run. So this is the topic we're going to share about today. I'm just opening the link. Let me see if it works. Okay. I think now it's gonna. Okay, let me check. Okay, yeah, it's here. So I will bring the link to the chat and also remind of the links that we normally work with. So we have this link for the participation and the attendance list. Let me put here in the chat. Conversation. Okay. Conversation. Yes. So one link for the attendance list and another link for the activities in the Google platform as well. Let me just, okay, yeah. I have one presentation and another link to check participation. And we are not using a book, a conversation book yet, because I believe a book would be very very distant from our realities. There is a book that I was working with before we started, but it was too European, I guess. So I'm looking for some kind of material that can relate more to our realities. Yeah. So now in August, for example, we have a free major campaigns in Brazil. We have the Green August, the Golden August, and the Lilac August. So the first, which is the Green August, is about early childhood protection. And it is very interesting because we don't have, like in Brazil, any kind of politics on how to deal with early childhood and paternity or masculinity and families. Schools don't talk about it. Families in general don't talk about how to raise children, how to address different topics, topic of violence, topic of education for kids. So each families, they end up um, making up their own ideas of how to build a parental education. We have some courses in Brazil, parental education courses, but I think they are very, very expensive. For example, at the moment, I'm taking a post-graduation course in parental education, and it's 9,000 reais. I'm only taking this course because I got a scholarship, so I'm not paying. But imagine, how can a person pay 90,000 reais for parental education? It's very, very expensive. So that's why I separated this material for us to discuss what are the problems that come when we don't have any kinds of assistance on how to raise our kids, how to um, develop some strategy to deal with this idea. Nobody talks to us about kids' education, personal development. This is not a topic in Brazil. And because this is not a topic, people have no idea of what to do. Yeah. I don't know. Did you have any kind of education on how to raise kids or how to bring up a family? Did your parents sit down with you one day? Okay, so one day you're gonna get married. So let me teach you 5 lessons about how to raise children. Did you have this moment with your family of how to raise a family, how to have a kids? Did you have this time, this quality time with your family? I didn't. Did you? Wow. Yeah, I think this is our problem. And I put the name of crisis here. This is the material for today. And the name is Parenting in Crisis. Exactly because we don't have any kinds of reference. So, especially in urban areas, yeah, we have violent areas, and we have to deal with violence and deal with paternity. So, how can we have a quality time moment with our kids, with our family, if most of the areas we live in are violent? I live in a very violent area here in Rio, and I cannot play with my son, for example, in the streets because it is very dangerous. So, what about you? Is it possible where you live to play ball, for example, in the streets with your kids, or it is dangerous, it's complicated or risky? Are you safe to play with your kids outside where you live? Is it possible?
Can I go? Hello, hi everyone. My name is Eliette. I'm mother of a 11-month old baby girl.
Mm,
So I'm entering this universe right now. Last year,
nice.
everything is new for me. I live in Rio, and it's not safe. It's not safe to play with our kids
Mhm.
on the streets.
Wow.
I live at a con- condominium. I don't know.
In a condominium?
Yes, and yeah, kids have to be like inside the condominium.
People
It's
say,
terrible. It's terrible
peop-
because in my childhood I could play in the
Mhm.
street. I played with the kids from the street, and now I see that my daughter is going to only know kids from the condominium.
Exactly, yeah. Normally, people say condo. They abbreviate
Ah,
condo.
abbreviate. Okay,
Yeah,
condo.
and say condo. So I live in a house, and but my son doesn't like staying home. He wants to go out and play with the other kids.
How old is he?
My son is 6 years old.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
Apollo. Apollo is 6, and Apollo wants to go out, play with the kids, but it is very dangerous here. For you to have an idea, my neighbor was shot in the head at home with a stray bullet. Yeah, there was a shooting in the area, and my neighbor was shot and she died in her house because there was a conflict between the criminals and the police, and then she was shot. So we are not safe even inside our homes. Yeah. So I'm telling this just for you to have an idea of how dangerous it is to play with the kids. So let me show you the news of her death. It was all over the newspapers around here. So this is the news. Let me try to zoom so that you can see better. Okay, adjust. Okay, so this is the news. So elderly woman killed by stray bullets in Praça Seca, west zone of Rio. Marta Braz Azevedo, 66, was watching television at home when she was shot in the neck. Yeah, so this happened on September 4, 2023. So it was last year. Yeah, 11 months ago. So next week, it will be a year that she was killed at home. So, okay, stray bullet, you know this vocabulary, stray bullet, yeah?
But one choice is very unreal because this shooting or this straight bullet only occur in the poor area that don't have a money or big power. Because you think about cheese in Laranjeiras, Flamengo, another good areas in Rio. Only in the poor areas is crazy.
Exactly, very good points. And this is what people call environmental racism. Are you familiar?
Yeah.
Exactly, environmental racism. Are you familiar, Eliette, to this terminology?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from health. I work on
Wow,
this area.
awesome.
we talk a,
Yes.
we talk a lot about it.
Yeah, this is very important topic because usually governments, they separate those poor areas that don't receive any kind of assistance by the government for um, Black families in general. Yeah, so I have always lived in areas like this. I used to live in Baixada Fluminense before, in a place called Mesquita, which was very violent as well, an area called Chatuba, and now here in Praça Seca, the same reality. So I have always been around this violence all over the places. So this woman, she was my side neighbor. Her house is right beside mine. So it means I run the risk, we run the risk here at home to be shot as well because she was living beside us. So it's very complicated to um, play with your kids, to demonstrate affection and love in public because the public area is a dangerous area. So you cannot show emotions. There is a woman called Bell Hooks. She writes about this in her papers. She has a very interesting text where she says that because Black people need to be in states of alert all the time, thinking about their protection, looking out over their shoulders, paying attention if there is any dangers coming, they are never free to be, just to be a father, to be a mother, to play with kids, because we are always looking over our shoulders, worried about what can happen in 2 minutes, in 10 minutes, and this constant stage of alert makes us develop sometimes even physical symptoms, psychological symptoms. So Frantz Fanon is another intellectual who says that there is no freedom for Black people in colonial realities, because we are always the targets of the police, targets of the government, targets of different authorities. So how do you see this? How do you react to this statement by Fanon? Do you think this is very alarmist, very pessimistic, or no, you really have this feeling that you're not really free, you don't have actual freedom? What is your perspective on this position he has?
In my opinion, I think he have a orientation for this. Because if you think, if you only the bad guys stay in their area, don't have shot. But when the cops arrive, not arrive, they arrive in shotting. So it's a very orientate. Oh, go there, I shot only. I think you have some orientation about this. It's not possible because when have some bad neighborhoods in Flamengo. What is the name of the some bad areas in near of the beach? The cops don't arrive there and shot because in the other side have a rich people. If some rich people receive a bullet, oh, it's a big problem. But this is a poor black people receive a bullet, has nothing. It's only a statistic. They don't care.
Wow.
And I think we have other issue because it is the urban violence, but we have the mental violence. And I think Fanon and Bell Hooks talk about not more, but in our mentality. For example, how we can think we are beautiful, for example, how we can create values in our, not values, we think, because not we feel beautiful, but we are comfortable with our hair, with our culture, with our roots, and normally we maybe stay in the place, maybe try to recognize some symbols. We are and not our symbols, and along our childhood, the most part of information, the most part of idols, the most part of identities is branquitude. I don't know in English, but a whiteness, maybe whiteness values, and along our lives, we share a lot of values, a lot of culture. We are not our culture, and in English, I don't know as well, but Fanon said about auto-ódio, self-hate, maybe?
Self-hate, yes.
Self-hate. We can't, not we can't, but it's hard recognize our beautiful, our identity, and it's very, because, and I think I agree with that, with him, and in this side of image is impossible to be freedom, because we stay all the time try to recreate and try to recognize and try to conscious about our roots, about our culture, and valorize this.
But if you think more deep, if you go to the Rio Grande do Sul, have the bad areas like in Rio, it's the same. But when the cops arrive in these bad areas, they don't shot. It's the same here in São Paulo. They arrive in the bad areas, they have the same areas like Rio, but they don't shot. But only in Rio, all the time the cops arrive and shot. For me, it's orientation. It's not possible. It's not only things. It's orientation, because in Bahia is similar Rio. They have some orientation in the bad areas, in poor areas. They arrive and they shot. Which is crazy.
Yes, and these are the places that have more Black people in
Yes,
Brazil.
yes.
Me too. I believe they have this orientation. It's not they. It's not. You can say that they aren't prepared. They are prepared to do that. So it's terrible. We have to be aware of this, and unfortunately, we have to aware our kids. Don't go there. Be careful. Don't run. I heard
Yeah.
I heard those orientations when I was a kid, and now I see the context is even worse.
Yes, is what Shimi Bembe said about necropolítica. That really, really best, good example. Good example, of course, not good, but a good example of necropolítica. In fact, because we in Brazil recreate a really, really necropolítica. The state choose who will live, who will die every day. In poor areas, every day, someone died, someone died. Sorry, and like Lisandro said, in Lagoa, or Jardim Botânico, Flamengo, if someone died in this place, the news, the social media, all share the news, share the information, and create some movement to think about the violence in this space. But in the same day, the same time, maybe 3, 4, or 5 people die in Praça Seca, Rocinha, Vidigal, and other poor areas in Rio de Janeiro and in other cities in Brazil.
Wow, it's amazing to see that all your voices, they are in sync. Yeah, you're talking about very similar realities, and some people say that we can talk about a genocide of Black people. So, do you believe this is very exaggerated when you say genocide, or it
No,
is
no,
the
no, no.
case?
It's a genocide, because only the Black people will die. Only. It's crazy, but it's only. I think it's similar in US. If you think more with an open mind, only Black people die in the poor area in US. Only.
Yeah, so that's why they use the word systemic, yeah, systemic racism to talk about this, because it's like everywhere happening the same way, and it's not local but global, right? So it's something really intentional. And when we say here the word parenting, it is in purpose, because it is not about fatherhood and masculinities, and there are even a lot of Black women who are intellectuals that say motherhood has a color, and they say motherhood is not Black. So my question is for you too, Eliette, Sirbeli. Do you believe that women, Black women, have the same opportunity to parent their kids, the same opportunities of being mothers white women do, or there is a difference between white motherhood and Black motherhoods?
Yeah, totally different. Beginning from the area, we live in poor areas most time, and we have to work. We so our kids with food, yeah, are they don't have great schools. Government doesn't provide school, doesn't provide sports. It's terrible. It's terrible. If you have your family to give you support, your kids will be with your family and you go to work, but it's not the same opportunities that why women have, not at all.
Yeah, it is interesting to listen to you because I remember that when I was a kid, I didn't have this experience many white kids have, like that their mother, for example, opened their daily planner from school to see the homework they have to do, and then they do their homework together with their kids, because my mother was working all day long. She was a maid in a white family's house. So I would talk to my mom only in the end of the day, like 8 p.m., after she was working all day long. So of course she wouldn't have any energy left to teach me homework and talk about my day at school. So this parenting experience we have as Black people is usually different, even in this aspect. So when you look at your model, Sirbeli, do you think it's possible for you to create a different motherhood for you, or because it is systemic, every Black woman will have the same experience as a mother? How do you see this reality?
Hi, guys. I think this reality is, for us, Black women, is more difficult, all right? Unfortunately, our culture think that's normal. For example, Black woman in the area like a cleaner. There's no problem cleaning, but we can everything, all right? But the society, our culture, close their mind and racist, because they racist. When the people look to us in their mind is, you a Black woman, you a cleaner, you a receptionist, never a doctor, an engineer, or manager. So for us, the area is close, right? And in my case, for example, I'm graduated, and for me, and along my life, I perceived that I need to prove 10 times my competition. I need to do 10 times that 10 times for to show my competition, to show that I have capacity. No, I'm able, right? And then my colleagues, for example, white woman.
Wow, it's very shocking to hear this, because you are always under pressure. Yeah, you need to prove.
Yes, always under pressure. But for example, in the last weekend, I was in Rio. I'm from Belo Horizonte, last weekend I was in Rio, and I stayed in Botafogo neighbor.
It's totally different.
Wow.
Yes. I was there because for me the south zone is more easy in the location, because it's next to all the points. The location has a good transport, for example, metro, bus. It's no problem with the Uber, all right? And I was alone, and this area is security. In Rio de Janeiro, is security area. And there, I perceived that I don't percept, for example, I didn't percept, for example, racism with me in the bars, in ice cream shop. I don't know how can I say a sorveteria, but ice cream shop, right? In bars, in the place that I visited. For me, was okay, but I perceived that if I was there in the middle, in the people, the soft zone, is good.
Mhm.
All right.
Yes.
And yes, and because my accent, the people perceive that I'm not
Not real.
yes, I'm not real.
Yeah.
Yes, he is a tourist, and the tourist
Because
yes, in this area. So
That's
eh,
why you were well treated, because they knew
yes,
you were
yes,
tourists.
yes. I
but Sibeli, if you go to like the what is the name, Campo Grande in Rio. I love Campo Grande because I lived there for six years. People is more friendly than the people in the south zone. It's totally friendly because they have the same color.
fantastic.
You have okay, have safety areas, but look, maybe in Botafogo have some areas that I don't like stay there because I live for 6 or 7 years in Laranjeiras. Is near. I have some. I know where is not friendly. It's not safe in some parts of South area. I know. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, I stayed in Botafogo. Uh, I already visited Flamengo,
Yeah.
Catete,
Yeah.
South Zone, right? And for me, always okay. I don't have I didn't have problem. Uh, Copacabana too, it's okay.
Did you see homeless in the streets?
So
Homeless. Homeless.
a lot of many.
Yeah, because in the past, I don't know what happened in Rio now, but I stay in Rio in the beginning of the year. For me, it's a very surprise because in this part of South Zone, it's a crowd of homeless. I don't know what happened, but in the past, it's impossible to see someone. But now, it's a very scare, and I perceive some damage damage guys in the streets in this area. So when
Ye-
you go ahead, sorry.
Yes, I perceived about this a lot of homeless in Botafogo, but the people the people walk uh, into the street, through street, together the homeless, and no problems.
Okay, I have some language inputs, yeah, to comment. You have given lots of amazing contributions. Thank you so much. I think it's a very rich conversation. Just mentioning the words infelizmente in English, we say unfortunately, okay?
Unfortunately.
Exactly, because if you say unfortunately, then you are putting one more syllable. So you don't say unfortunately, but unfortunately. Yeah,
Unfortunately.
exactly. We write unfortunately, but when we speak, we say unfortunately. Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Okay. And then we have the words seguro in English. You can say safe and you can say secure, but there is a difference between safe and secure. Yeah. You feel safe when there is no risk to your integrity. You are safe. There is people cannot hurt you. People cannot touch you or harm you. You are safe. Secure is when you feel confident. You feel you have conditions. For example, to speak like in public? For example, if you are in front of a large audience, do you feel secure to speak in front of a lot of people, or you feel insecure? You start shaking, yeah, and you start sweating and you don't feel secure, yeah, to speak in public. So you see the difference between safe and secure, yeah?
Yeah, so in my case, the area is safe, no security.
Exactly. And then you have safety, security, and insurance. Insurance is about company insurance, a car insurance, your house insurance. So if your house burns down, then the insurance company will give you a new house. Yeah. If you rob your car, steal your car, the insurance company will give you a new car. Yeah. For example, Rio de Janeiro is so dangerous, but so dangerous that many people now have insurance phone. Can you believe? Wow, insurance for your mobile phone. Do you have insurance for your cell phone?
I remember in the past, people use two cell phones. The good cell phone and the bad cell phone.
Yeah,
in the bus, use the bad cell phone.
Yeah, but now this tactic isn't working. They can beat you if you give them an old cell phone.
Oh, crazy!
Yes, I used my cell phone on street, but I was scared.
In the real?
Yes.
I think the most insecurity when you walk in the streets is in the bus stop, because all the time you need to looking around, because the kids sometimes in the town can stolen your cell phone or your bag. It's crazy.
Yes. But I think this is everywhere, because
everywhere.
Yes, here in Belo Horizonte, the bus stop is danger too.
Oh, in the Europe too. Do you remember what is the name?
Pickpocket.
Pickpocket. This is the word.
I think in Rio and São Paulo as well, and I have been São Paulo 2 months ago. I have a friend. He was roubado. He was still on the streets. Very common, the type of crime. The guy in the motorcycle, or bikes, as in not only motorcycle, but
in Paulista.
Sure. Yeah, in a Paulista, in Vila Madalena, every place in the center of São Paulo, and they steal your cell phone. In Rio, is very, very common as well in my work. I'm a teacher, and I have a colleague. She was on the street smoking, and the guy took her cell phone on the streets in front of in front of school, really in front.
In the bus too. Sometimes when the people open the door in the bus and they have some problems in the traffic, and the kids looking for the open door, if someone use the cell phone in front, stolen. I remember some things in Rio, in the downtown. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yes, but my friend was stolen in Ireland.
Ireland? Oh.
Yes, his cell phone was stolen in Ireland.
No, but it's totally incorrect. If I'm still stolen, sorry, in Europe country, I hate me, because I will lose my Carioca passport, because it's impossible. You can't rope in the Europe. It's totally crazy situation.
I think no, because in Europe it's
no, it's a
normal
joke. It's
today.
totally a joke. No, it's a joke.
Yes, it's normal today. Yes,
They all the time they stolen the bikes.
Yeah.
Yes,
No, all the time
motorcycle.
they stolen the bikes. I was in Toronto last year. I couldn't see one. All the time is the only pieces of the bike because the bike was stolen. Why?
Yes. It's human. But
Yeah,
in
no.
here is worse, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that when they started that program of Itaú bikes, people were stealing the bike and putting them on Mercado Livre to be sold. Unbelievable. Did you see that?
Yeah, I remember this. Crazy.
My goodness. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, it's interesting to remember the verb perceive, because perceive in English is the verb, perception is the noun. So, eu percebo, I don't say I percept, I say I perceive, or I notice, or I see. But percept is only perception, the noun, okay? So, perception, the verb perceive, or notice, or see. And then, what is the difference between rob and steal? I was robbed because he took my phone. My phone was stolen. I was not stolen. The phone was stolen. Okay? So robbed is the person and stolen is the object. Okay?
all right.
So I don't say I was stolen. I was robbed. My phone was stolen because the guy got my phone. Yeah? So, for example, if I say my car was stolen, my car was robbed, what's the difference? My car was stolen, my car was robbed.
My car was stolen. I lost my car because someone stole my car.
Excellent. And my car was robbed. What is the meaning of my car was robbed?
My car was robbed.
Robbed.
I robbed it. I stole it, the car, the other person.
Okay, so the person robs the objects inside the car, but the car continues there. Yeah. So this robs the car. Fantastic. Very good. And then we have this next screen continuing about the impact of urban violence and parenting for Black people. We have also some propositions here. So what can we do? So what is the problem of violence for parenting? And then we have 5 points that we talked about when we said that we are in constant pressure and tension. So exposure to violence can cause trauma. This is, everybody knows about that. Limited access to resources and support services. So you were talking about the I think that Eliette said about the impact of the area where you are. So you don't have access to resources, simple resources like a square for the kids to play, for example. Here where I live in Praça Seca, there is no square for my son, Apollo, to play. Like if he wants to go to a bounce or a slide, there is no attraction, there is no playground for kids in Praça Seca. But if you go, for example, to Leblon, Humaitá, Copacabana, Ipanema, of course, you have lots of public areas where the kids can play, the kids can have fun, can have an ice cream, yeah? So this is another point that we have to take into consideration. And Sirbeli also mentioned this. Having an ice cream is a privilege, yeah, in public, because in many neighborhoods, it is not possible to do this. And then the third point, economic insecurity and unemployment, is also an issue, because if my area is dangerous and I want to have fun with my family, I want to have fun with my son and my wife, my husband. The only way to do this is leaving the area where I live and going to, for example, in my case, into the Boa Vista or going to the beach. I have to go to a far place. And to go to a far place, I need money for the gas or the bus tickets. I need money to eat because we have to have lunch. We have to buy a snack or something. And if you don't have money for this, how can you go out? So that's why many poor families, they don't have this leisure moment. Yeah. So what about you? Are you able to have this moments of quality time with your girlfriend, boyfriend, kids? Can you do this? Or in the area you live, this is not possible?
For me, it's possible. I think I have a privilege. I have a good job, and I live in an apartment of a friend, and he works here, and I think he has money. His family is rich, and he is very close to me, and I live in his apartment with my wife, and we share our bills, our bills, and we live in a good area, and we have leisure, we have good time on the street, but not thing. We work a lot, but I notice, for example, some places I go, people look at me and see a black guy with a big hair. So it's every is a leisure, but with something strange, for example. And when I arrive here, now I have 7 years in the school, but I teach in an American school in Rio, in a very, very, very expensive school. 99% of my students is white, are white, and the family is very, very rich. And when I arrived here, I was a surprise because I taught in other school, rich school in Rio, and there I'm the only black teacher in the school. And here, because it's American, we have some black American teachers, and I'm not the only black teacher here. And now we create goals, diversity goals. Now we have a good environment, good climate for black people, but in fact we really are a minority here, demographic minority. But when I arrived here, I lost in the beginnings. When I arrived here, I noticed some parents and ask a lot of questions about what your background, where do you study, where you live, your family, a lot of strange questions, But now I have a good position here, and I think this type of question not appear anymore, but was very strange when I arrived here.
Yeah, very interesting question. Very good point that you raised, because our bodies, black people, is seen as a risk. Yeah, people see a black guy, long hair. What is this? What is going to happen? Wow. And we laugh. We try to make fun of this, but it is violence to a certain extent to see that people are afraid of you. Yeah, because why would somebody be afraid of you? I saw 2 days ago in Instagram, I guess, a black model on a shopping mall. People were following her, full of suspicion that she was stealing things. And she's just 24 years old, I guess. And I saw this news and I was like, my goodness, it is so traumatic, yeah, to try to have a normal life in some areas of Brazil, because people just see you as a risk. It's something insane. You said something, Rafael, that I put. Okay, I put observation here in the chat. Only unique. You know the difference?
Only I am. No, I don't know the difference.
Yeah, because only is one and unique is special. It's like exquisite, particular, peculiar. Yeah.
Okay.
Unique is something very sophisticated. Yeah. Exquisite, like this.
I think I didn't know this word until Beyoncé has some music in the Renaissance, and I think in my mind, unique goes in my mind.
Okay, great. So, what about you, Eliade, Valley? Can you have time and conditions to have a quality time with your friends and your family, like going out, taking the baby to get some sun? And is it possible to do this?
Yeah, yes, to me it's possible.
Wow.
I live in Vila Isabel.
Nice.
So here our leisure most of the time is going to restaurants. Don't have many options, diversity of leisure, but it's a nice neighborhood. Yeah, there are people living on the streets, but Rio, everywhere. We don't hear much about violence, but you guys live in Rio. Humberto, Rafael, yeah. Every week, Vila Isabel is on the news because of the trying to change the owners, or no, not owners. Well, people who the crime, and they are trying to change. So every week we hear something, but my house is not so near, and so we can have some leisure, but we're not really safe. We have to go out, but always be taking care of the time you go out. Yeah.
You're right. So there is a lot of disputes over the territories. Yeah.
Yes.
Police and different gangs. We have the third command. You have the red command. It's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's really sad. Well, we have a very wide material. I put here. I think there are 5 or 7 slides, and we are just in the seconds today, so we won't have time to close this discussion because it's a very rich discussion, and this is good because we can practice a lot, we can exchange a lot of ideas, we can increase our vocabulary, work our pronunciation and fluency. So I think it's really good like this because you can have lots of meetings to keep on this discussion. So next class, we can keep this topic, or if you prefer, we can change topics. We can discuss this during the week in the group of conversation on WhatsApp. And then we see if we keep this topic, or because next class will be September, we have also Yellow September discussions, which is a very valid topic too. The importance of mental health, therapy, how do you take care of your mental health, and how do you balance work life, quality life, family life, affection, and I think this is a lot of there is a lot of inputs in this discussion too. So we can discuss during the week if you prefer to keep this topic or move on to a new topic for next class, and then we decide before next Thursday. Okay, so I hope to see you all next Thursday at 5 p.m. here. Thank you so much for having us in this moment. I think it was very rich, Rafael, to have you among us as well. Eliette too, awesome. Yeah, really nice. I hope we have even more students together. I think it's really cool for us to have this chance because many people don't have the opportunity to speak English with other people on a daily basis, on a regular basis. So this is a really important moment for most of us. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free. Before we close, we finish in 2 minutes. So any questions about pronunciation, vocabulary, Quilombo bilingue, anything you'd like to say?
No, Humberto, I have a question about Quilombo bilingue. If I want to participate other class, because I know. Sorry. I read about special conversation about corporative conversation. I don't know exactly, but there's a class about not corporative, but like a business language.
Oh, ESP is about reading strategies. It's more about exams, like job interviews and international exams like TOEFL, CAE, CPE, this kind of thing. We meet at 3:30, and 2 p.m. is more basic, more regular course. So we have free classes every Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you recommend maybe did this? Yeah.
I don't know. Usually, people who are taking exams, like doctors or masters, and maybe TOEFL exam, they can profit for this class of 3:30. And if you would like revision, grammar review, then 2 o'clock is recommended. But I think it's not your case because it's really basic. Yeah, beginners class, right?
Okay. Thank you, Matt.
Welcome. See you next Thursday.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
See you. Bye bye. Thanks.
Bye.
See you. Bye bye.